Hi everyone, and welcome to Rum Runner Dance. I'm Dan Genovese. Today we're making a classic tiki drink, Monk's Respite.
Oh, blow the man down, bullies, blow the man down. To me way, blow the man down. Blow the man down, bullies, blow him away.
Most people with tiki drinks, and pretty much every tiki drink that you saw on the show so far, they all contain rum. And a lot of people think in order for it to be called a tiki drink, it has to contain rum. And that's not true. And actually, believe it or not, this started back with Vic Bergeron, or Trader Vic, with his bar back in Oakland, California. He had a couple of drinks on his menu that didn't have rum in them at all, but they were still definitely a tiki drink. The cool thing about this is it's really about the flavors that you're getting to come through. Is it a tropical flavor? Is it a Caribbean flavor? And that's really what kind of defines tiki. So it's not just about it being rum. So because today's drink features two ingredients that rarely are found inside of tiki drinks at all. They're not unfamiliar to Trader Vic drinks. We have gin and we have Chartreuse. But this isn't a Trader Vic drink. This actually, this is a drink I came by. I was just thumbing through, Smugglers, Cove by Martin and Rebecca Kate. And when I was looking through the book, I already burned through all of the classic tiki drinks. I already had a Mai Tai, probably, a few times too many. I did a couple of hurricanes, I had a zombie, I did a planter's punch, and I'm like, man, I'm starting to run out. Puka punch, oh, there we go. Sidewinder's Fang, Dr. Funk. Like, I had all these classic tiki drinks, and I'm starting to run through them, and I'm like, Monk's Respite, coconut water. I'm like, well, I'm going to give this a try. I didn't like coconut water, and I'm like, I doubt I'm going to like this drink. I was completely wrong. This is an amazing drink, and it's an amazing sipper drink. I have to say, this is a drink that you want to have, outside, hot day. This is the kind of drink that, I would definitely tell you go for. And for a lot of people, right now it is, January of 2021 when I'm making this video. So a lot of people do, dry January, but respect, fact that you guys can actually do that. I can't. I can, I won't. So what you can do with this drink is feel free to, you could sub in one of the awesome spirits that are distilled that are non-alcoholic for the gin here. And the Chartreuse, I'm not really sure if you can get that flavor through in a non-alcoholic version, but you feel free to sub in one that's very herbal in flavor, and that'll get you somewhere there. So this way you could even scale this down and make it a non-alcoholic drink. So, tiki isn't just about getting, drunk. It's about enjoying yourself and escaping from life. And if that means that you're not going to have alcohol in the drink, that's fine. And this is common in tiki bars to serve drinks even without alcohol. To give a shout out to 3 Dots and a Dash, the single bar that started my interest in tiki right here in Chicago, Illinois. Amazing tiki bar. I love it, and I can't wait to actually go back and sit in there again. Hopefully that's soon. With my wife, she wanted me to go there. I didn't want to go there originally. I went there, and now she's like, so where do you want to go? It's like on a date night. I'm like, let's go to 3 Dots and a Dash. She's like, again? So now it's kind of like I have to slow my roll a little bit when it comes to going there. They have a drink that calls a gift to your future self. It's a non-alcoholic drink. And they even advertised it on their menu. It's a drink for people who are designated drivers, so they're responsible there. And two, it's also about a drink that you can have that's definitely a tropical drink, but kind of devoids you from, the alcohol sense of, all the strong drinks that you can get there. So with that, let's go ahead and start building the drink. We're going to build this one in a drink mixer like we do before with most of our tiki drinks. And the cool thing is we're going to be going through and using some new ingredients here that we haven't used before. So, first thing, least expensive, most expensive ingredient. So the first thing we're going to start off here with is coconut water. So you want to get yourself good coconut water. This happens to be the one that I got from Whole Foods. And it's the one reason why I like it. It doesn't need to be refrigerated until it's open. I just like to refrigerate it a little bit ahead of time, but don't get, you can get any kind. Don't get one that's flavored or has other things in it. Just plain coconut water. And it's a big pour on this. It's actually 3 ounces. So there's 2, and there's 3. Okay. So next we're going to go and we're going to lengthen this a little bit more yet. And we're going to add in some bubbles. Love bubbles. So we have some Italian sparkling water here. You can use SodaStream, Seltzer, LaCroix, any brand that you like, Pellegrino. I love them all. Just as long as it's not flavored, and also try to get one that doesn't have sodium in it. So that's an ounce of the seltzer water. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go into our lemon juice. Lemon juice here is ½ an ounce. Fresh squeezed lemon juice. Always fresh squeezed when you can get it. Fun thing here, this drink is originally served in a coconut, a young coconut, which you can buy in the store, and you can buy a coconut jack. I'll put the links to those below. There's coconut water in that. You could actually use that for the drink too, if you want. That's part of where the coconut water came from. It actually came out of the coconut that they normally serve this, and I'm not serving it in a coconut today. Next thing we're going to add into here is our sweetener. I have here, it's actually a mix of agave syrup and water, equal parts. The drink originally calls for honey syrup. And you can use honey syrup. You can use it at the strength that you like, either a 2-to-1 ratio of 2 parts honey to 1 part water, or 3 parts honey to 1 part water, whichever one that you kind of prefer. The whole idea here about watering it down is to make it so that it actually blends and just doesn't get clingy and stuck onto the sides. It dilutes it down a little bit more. Now, reason why I don't actually use honey, it's my wife and I were vegan, so I don't drink honey. I don't eat honey in anything that I know of that it's in. So I'm going to add just plain, this is blue organic raw agave syrup. I had it, we haven't been vegan for a really long time, so I had it the other way before. It does taste good, but this is really like a good comparable to the actual honey syrup. So we're going to use 1/4 ounce here of honey syrup or agave syrup. Okay. Next, we're going to add in yellow chartreuse. Yellow chartreuse we've used a couple of times. We used chartreuse on the show. It is sweet. It is herbal, 2 varieties, yellow and green, and this is the yellow variety. Steeped less, a little bit milder, also not as alcoholic, a little bit lower on the proof side. This 1/4 ounce of chartreuse. Now, the reason why Monk's Respite is fitting that it has chartreuse in it is because I don't actually know which monks make it. I'm sure it is not on the back. No, yes it is, Cistercian monks. So Cistercian monks in France make that, and they make it themselves, and they have their own recipe, and they made it for a very long time. So it's kind of cool. Monk's Respite, there's chartreuse in it. Next thing we're going to be adding here is our Tanqueray. So this calls for London Dry Gin. Actually, Martin Rebecca's Kate says Booker's Gin. I didn't have that. You can get it if you want. I tried it with a bunch of different gins. They all work really nice. Ford's Gin works really nice. Actually, Terrier Gin from St. George has a little bit of like a piney, foresty flavor, which I call it like Christmas gin is the way I think of it, because it's so delicious with like other spices and everything for Christmas. That works really good in here too. But I'm using Tanqueray. Love Tanqueray. It happens to be one of my wife's favorite gins. She is a gin fan, so I got this. So we're going to do 1.5 ounces. It's not a big pour when you're thinking about, alcohol inside of a tiki drink, definitely. All right. And probably could have put this in sooner, but we'll just do it now. It's 1 dash of orange bitters. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is add some ice in here. 12 ounces, 2 of my 6-ounce scoops. All right. A couple pieces cracked just to help with agitation. Let's give them a crack in half. Oh, man down. Try that again. Underneath the lights, they start to melt really quick, so ice tends to get a little wet. I'll explain that in a second. So we're going to flash blend this for 4 seconds. Then you're going to grab yourself a double old-fashioned glass. So that's my serving vessel that I'm going to be using today. I'm going to grab one of my Woodrow coasters. We're going to put that down, stick our drink on top of it. This happens to be my double old-fashioned glass. I don't have a lot of them. This is my Trader Vic Mai Tai glass, but it's double old-fashioned. Love it. So we're going to go ahead and pour this, open pour it right into the drink. There we go, right to the glass. Now I'm going to top it off. So what did I mean by wet ice? So ice when it's in the freezer, if you ever notice, when it comes out and it stays in a very cold freezer, it doesn't stick to itself, and when you pick it up, it feels dry, like your hands stick to it. That's called dry ice. Once it's sitting out for a little while, it starts to melt on the outside and get a little watery, but it's still ice and still can chill, but that's called wet ice. The reason why that's different and why bartenders care about it so much has to do with dilution. So if you're using a lot of wet ice, you want to use less, or you want to also stir it less so that you're not over diluting your drink and making it taste more watery than it should. A little lesson. All right, now next we're going to come in with garnish here. So garnish for this drink, love the mint. Now the original drink here, part of the serving vessel is the garnish. So if you get a young coconut, you get the coconut jack, which cuts the top out of it. You pour the drink right into there, and then what you do is you basically put the top back on, and you put a straw right down in, and you call it done. You could stick a little flour in that too, if you want to. But since I'm not doing that, I'm actually going to grab myself here some mint. So I'm a big proponent of using mint in tropical cocktails, which, oh, mint leaves falling. I don't know why, because I don't think mint really grows in the Caribbean. Might. Actually, I don't know that. But we're going to go give this a little bit of a whack here, start to get those aromas. Release, little crush. All right. I'm going to break off these overly long stems from here. Okay. We're going to take this guy and we're going to chuck him in right there. Look at that. I mean, it's not a coconut, but still looks good. I drink. All right, and next I like to go ahead and put just a couple of like dehydrated pieces of fruit. I'm just grabbing here, looks like 2 pieces of lemon. So we're gonna tuck that right in there, just like that. That looks nice up against all that nice little mint there too. Okay, next thing we need is one of our trusty Surfside Sips straws. So this one I love. This is cool. Really, really cool. If you're a Game of Thrones fan, which I'm going to do a Game of Thrones drink in the future, that's going to be a good episode. This Surfside Sip straw is dragon glass, is what it's called. So if you're familiar with the show, you know exactly what dragon glass is. This is dark obsidian, but it's custom. It has a texture to it too. And on top of that, also got myself a nice little custom octopus put on there. You can get these little additives put on any one of the straws. So really cool. Check them out, surfsidesips.com. Use code RUMRUNNER20. Get yourself 20% off. And on top of that, you're going to be saving some turtles. So who wouldn't want to do that? So we're going to tuck that guy in there. He's going to be right at home here. And there you have it, everyone. That is the Monk's Respite. Let's give this one a taste. Ooh, One more taste. Yeah, it's great. I love the drink. So clearly one of the big flavoring components of this is coconut water, which you're going to be like, Dan, I don't really like coconut water. Hang with me for a second. Because with the coconut water, you get that flavor of coconut out of it, right? But it mixes with, you get a little bit of citrus from the lemon, not a lot, just a little bit. And you get a little bit of like this herbally sweet, tiny bit, little hint of it. And that's from our Chartreuse, but you can taste it. It really plays on the herbs and the juniper and everything that comes through in the gin. So they kind of marry up and kind of elevate those herbals and botanicals that are right inside of the gin already. So nice herbally flavor, elevates the botanicals in the gin, so you taste that. You get a little bit of that citrus that's brightened up there by the orange bitters. And it really depends on what kind of orange bitters that you use, depends upon the taste. You know, every different manufacturer does it differently. There are orange bitters that actually taste like orange. Then there's orange bitters that taste orange-ish, but more bitter. So it depends upon which ones you get. I'm using Angostura, love their stuff. So you can use Scrappy bitters, I love their stuff. You can use Miss Better's bitters. Those are also really good too. You can use bitter mints. Either one, any of those, Regan's, you know, all of those are good. But you're going to get slightly different flavor on the orange with it. But this drink, so easy to drink. Not a lot of bubbles from the seltzer, just lengthen it a little bit more than with the coconut, cuts that coconutty flavor down a little bit. The nose on this is great because you want to smell that mint. So you get this mint smell, little taste, coconut, gin flavor, and then you're like, ooh, it's interesting. And it's just like, it's like this is something you want to sit back on the porch, cool summer breeze, spring breeze, and you're just watching a sunset, and you're like, yeah, life is good. That's this drink, you know, and that's what this, you know, whole show that we're doing is really about. It's about, you know, an expedition. It's about a journey, and it's a journey that goes one glass at a time. So that's what we're trying to achieve here on Rum Runner Dan. It's not always about rum. It's about what we put in that glass and where does that transport you? What does that make you think of? Where does that put you in a state of mind? That's what the drink's about. So I hope you learned something today, and I hope you learned something about Tiki a little bit today, especially the fact that you don't always have to use rum with Tiki to get a really good Tiki drink. So please like and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. If you did, thank you, appreciate you so much. Looking forward to sharing more videos with you guys very soon, and until next time, everyone, Kole Maluna. Oh yeah, tropical music.